Maybe when you jump off the cliff of life, then you can live within your gift. Why? Because parachutes don't open when you're standing still. You've got to jump for your parachute to open. How is it that you can find what is it that you love to do? How can you find your passion? Firstly, what is the difference between your passion and your potential? The difference between passion and potential is what you love to do and you're good at is called your passion. What you love to do but you're not very good at is called your potential. And what you want to be able to do is spend most of your time around those two. But the only way that you can know what your passion is and what your potential is when you understand about yourself, having self-awareness. The two biggest gifts in life you can ever have is number one is health and number two is self-awareness, understanding about yourself. Most people out there, what they spend their life doing is they spend their time doing what they're good at and they don't like, or what they're bad at and they don't like. But if you can spend more of your time doing what you love to do and you're good at, and what you love to do and you're not so good at, that is where you win. About 2 months ago, I spoke on the stage with Steve Wozniak. And Steve Wozniak, for those of you who don't know, is a co-founder of Apple. He met Steve Jobs in 1971, and in 1975, they both started up Apple from Steve Jobs' garage. One of the most amazing conversations that Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak have had is written in Steve Jobs' biography, which is written by Walter Isaacson. And what he says is there's a conversation which goes on between Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, where Steve Wozniak goes, he says this to Steve Jobs. He goes, what is it that you do? You're not a coder, you're not a programmer, you're not a marketer. What is it that you do? And the answer Steve Jobs gave was the most amazing answer ever. He said, musicians play the instruments, I play the orchestra. Just imagine that. Imagine being told that. What Steve Jobs knew is he knew what his purpose in life was. He knew that his gift, his skill set was to bring people together. Steve Wozniak was the tech guy, but Jobs was the guy who actually built the business, who brought people together. What is it that you're good at? Well, most people in their lives, people told, spend time on your weaknesses. Become good at what you're not good at. But if you spend your time working on your weaknesses, the only thing you'll ever become is okay. But when you spend time on what you're good at, you become phenomenal. Only spend time working on your strengths. The only time you ever concentrate on your weaknesses is if you need your weaknesses to combine with your strengths. So if it's something you're not good at doing, but you really need to be good at it, then focus on that. But apart from that, only focus on your strengths. The 3 most important days in your life is going to be number 1, the day you're born. Number 2, the day you die. But the most important day of your life is the day you find your why. What is the reason why you're doing what you're doing? Why are you here? Do you think Allah just put us on this earth just to raise a family, earn a living, and then to die? There is so much here for us to do. And imagine if one day you're questioning why you didn't live your potential. Imagine one day you're questioning on why you didn't do what you were put on this earth to. That sometimes we have that little voice in our head, right? That I'm not good enough, that why me? There's better people out there than me. But there's a reason why you're here. And when you understand what you're good at, and when you focus on that, and when you start living your purpose, that unlocks the key to everything in your life.